Red Deer is home to Jim and Jerry Sutherland, twin brothers and passionate CFL fans. But though they live in Alberta, Jim and Jerry are devoted to the Saskatchewan Roughriders. That loyalty has its roots in family and loss, and a gesture of kindness that the brothers will never forget. CFL on TSN commentator and Grey Cup champion Glenn Suter tells their story.
Grey Cup Stories, brought to you by Rona.
Jim and Jerry, just a note to wish you both a very happy birthday. Also to say I hope your holiday is very enjoyable. I also want to thank both of you for being Ron Lancaster fans over the past years. It means a lot to have fans like you. All the best in your futures. Best wishes, Ron Lancaster.
Jim and Jerry Sutherland were never destined for greatness on the football field, but you'd be hard-pressed to find two more dedicated football fans. Identical twins with an identical passion for the green and white.
That color green is always going to be associated with me and the Riders. Maybe not, maybe I'll give a bit of an edge to St. Paddy's Day there on March 17th, but other than that, the other 364 days of the year, it's Rider green. The biggest thing about being a Rider fan, though, is the total commitment to the team. You know, if you're a bandwagon fan, you're not a Rider fan.
They commonly refer to Regina as Mecca, as far as bleeding green.
The twins' parents, Ed and Dory Sutherland, moved to Red Deer from Saskatchewan in the 1940s, and they brought their love for the Riders with them.
My dad was a very logical Rider fan. My mom was just pure emotion.
At crucial moments, tie games, very crucial games, she just actually couldn't stand sitting there watching it. She'd go out of the room, wait for it all to happen, and then come back and ask what happened.
Quarterback Ron Lancaster, number 23. Completes to Barwell. A sparkling 46-yard event.
Ron Lancaster is a legend, and he'll always be a legend with Jim and Jerry.
He walked on water. He was like a football god to all of us in that household. This is the guy that's going to get us there. And sure enough, he did in '66.
The Western Roughriders win the 1966 Grey Cup game.
Ed and Dory had waited their entire lives for that moment, and their joy made instant fans of Jim and Jerry.
I would consider it the launch pad into green madness for sure.
Lancaster on the move. To Campbell, touchdown!
The little general remained a huge presence in the Sutherland household right up until October of 1978, a fourth-quarter comeback win over Edmonton.
As it turned out, it was Ron's last game as a player, and it was my dad's last game as a fan. It was December 4th, 1978. He had a heart attack. He died with one foot out of bed that morning. That's an absolute shock. There's no good time to pass away, but before Christmas may be the worst. It's the darkest month of the year in terms of daylight, and it just seemed like the darkest month of the year for a lot of other reasons that year.
Then on Christmas morning, a remarkable piece of mail changed everything.
Jim opened it up. He started reading it. He just couldn't believe it. And it was like a light came on when that card arrived.
Their hero sent them a Christmas card, and that's the truth. They could hardly talk. They were that excited. All I got out was Ronnie Lancaster Christmas card.
Ronnie was a neighborhood guy. He was a hockey parent, and he knew through hockey, he knew my aunt and uncle. So they approached him, and of course he was all over that. He said, yeah, no problem. I'll do that. No worries there. It was such an unbelievable distraction from such a bad time. He was already a legend and for Jerry and me at the time from football, but he became a legend as a person that day.
A decade after losing their father, Jim and Jerry also lost their mother. Dory Sutherland passed away in June of 1989 following a long battle with leukemia.
She was fighting till the end to still see a Grey Cup for sure. There's no doubt about it.
Six months after their mother's death, Jim and Jerry found themselves at Commonwealth Stadium, witnessing one of the CFL's greatest upsets. Their riders knocked off the mighty Eskimos in the West Final, earning a Grey Cup berth in Toronto.
It didn't matter. We're jumping in a car if we have to. It didn't matter if we had a crawler, we were going to be there.
I think Mom would have wanted them to go. Mom, if she would have been around, probably would have paid for them to go. And if she would have been healthy enough, Mom would have probably gone.
2 midnight flights and a pair of scalp tickets later, the Twins were sitting on the 45-yard line at the Sky Dome for Roughrider history.
Rider pride is alive and flourishing under the Sky Dome as Saskatchewan has moved in front.
It was incredible.
Into the end zone, touchdown!
It was unreal. I mean, you know, I don't even remember how many times I was sitting down or standing up.
It's up. It's good. The Riders have won it.
It was a bittersweet thing because I just wish she could have seen this. You know, that was the first thing that popped in my mind. I wish my mom could have seen this. This finally happened. We got our next year, you know, and it was 23 years later, but we got that next year. When you go through a loss in a family, you're looking for something to kind of drag you away from that awful reality. And as it turned out, the Riders were the tonic for both of those occasions.
They've given us a lot of great joy, and they will continue to give us a lot of great joy, because once you are a Rider fan, you are a Rider fan.
It's a cradle-to-grave commitment. When you finally go to that great hereafter, well, you start thinking, well, maybe I'd look real Natalie attired if I was wearing Rider gear on that day.